But with Tyler Henley, you never know where you're going to go. He wows people with his psychic abilities. He also has a new book coming out in November called Between Two Worlds, about his life as a medium. We've had Tyler on the show before to do some readings, and he always insists on not knowing who his subject will be. So while I didn't know what to expect from our conversation, neither did he.
Hello.
Hello, Tyler. How are you?
Wow, how are you, Matt?
I'm great.
Gosh, it's great to see
What
you.
a pleasure to see you again. How have you been?
I've been amazing. How have you been?
I've been nervous. I don't understand the process, to be perfectly honest with you.
Okay, I'll explain it. The way that this works is that you'll watch me scribble, and I just do this. And this is kind of my way of forgetting my surroundings and kind of distracting myself and focusing on a central point so that I can kind of pick up on subtle impressions that come through. I've found in this practice that sometimes holding onto an object will actually make a stronger connection with a particular person. Ultimately, anybody can come through. It could be someone connected to the object. I might bring through people that aren't connected to the object.
Tyler started by asking for a pocket knife I'd brought. He didn't know it once belonged to my maternal grandfather. But as he had just explained, sometimes other people insist on making their presence known.
Wow, okay, so I have a few people coming through, but I first want to start with this man who is insisting to connect. This doesn't come through as like a grandfather, but this is coming through in a fatherly kind of an essence. Okay, this man is immediately going to have me talk about the passing. Let's see what this is. I'm definitely getting more so a reference to a progressive decline in health. And he showed me the symbol of a phone being held to one's ear when they're in an unconscious state and being told, like, it's okay to be able to pass. When they show that symbol, that to me always acknowledges, you know, that they were ultimately told by family, it's okay, like you don't have to hold on. And there's a feeling of appreciation with where he was when he actually died. There's a feeling of appreciation. It's like, I refuse to die surrounded by doctors, dying in a hospital, withering away.
Whether he knew it or not, Tyler was talking about my father, who passed away in 1997. At his request, he spent the last few weeks of his life at home, under hospice care.
He is thankful for the steps that were taken for him to not pass away in a traditional kind of facility. That's really important for him in the way that comes across. So I know it's a lot to take in. I haven't asked what makes sense and what doesn't thus far, but
A lot of it makes sense.
Good.
A lot of it.
Good. So strange. He's showing me a reference to like a coin, and I don't know why this is coming through in the way that it is, but he's showing me, and it may not click right now, but he's referencing to these coins, and it's a coin collection. It's like a very random, specific, old, archaic thing.
I have a couple of silver dollars from him, but not a lot.
Okay.
Just a couple.
There's actually a reference to having 3, and then I feel like I have to acknowledge either missing one or misplacing one, and then I talk about 2. How many do you have knowingly?
I think I have 2.
Okay, well there's a 3rd.
I think I have 2.
Yes. He's just showing me a vision of a bird flying into a house and having to get this bird and like trap this bird. It is the funniest thing. I don't know if we have to like run up and like grab a box and like capture it and throw it out, but there's a funny instance about this, and it is specific, so I have to verbalize it. It's random details like that that can sometimes validate that someone is coming through and that they're around us. So
He's had that happen.
that's happened.
Tyler says his abilities also include a sensitivity to people's medical conditions, and he picked something up from me.
Do you mind if we talk about health? It's nothing serious.
No, not at all.
So you have a susceptibility to something called sleep apnea. It's good to keep in mind. Well, your entire dad's side of family is coming through and having me joke about this.
It has been brought to my attention that I might snore just a little bit. Just a little bit.
That's all right.
Sleep issues aside, Tyler said my dad did have another message.
There's a reference to fishing, but he's talking about being spoken out loud to. I know what this is actually. I don't know if you're aware of this, but he's acknowledging that an individual will be out on a boat, and I feel like I'm sitting alone and I'm fishing, and I'm thinking Dad. And he's having me acknowledge this feeling of like, I'm there with you, I'm there with you.
You know, my dad shared 2 passions with me. He shared golf and fishing.
Nice.
And I do go out and fish a lot alone on a boat. And this idea that might be a time to communicate with him, or that he's attempting to communicate, is phenomenal to me, because I spent a lot of time doing that.
I love that. Your father is so immensely proud of you. You didn't have to get where you are today for him to be proud of you. And you didn't have to get where you are today to be successful in his eyes, because he views you as successful regardless. I hope that gives some insight.
You know, there's nothing a son or a daughter could want to hear more about their parent. Is it possible to ask and see if he has any things he wants to know from me?
Sure. I just wants to make sure you're happy. Beyond everything else, beyond everything that you have, just that you're happy. It's his number one priority.
Tell him I'm happy.
Good.
Because of him.
Absolutely. And you know what? He knows.
I have to say, it was just a fraction of our conversation, the conversation I had with Tyler. It lasted for more than an hour, and there were times, guys, where my hands were shaking and felt like I was perspiring because the things he was saying were so spot on. It was incredible.
I don't know how you didn't cry.
I don't know either. Gosh.
You know, I think that, and you know me as well as anyone, Savannah and Al and guys, I think it's because I knew there were cameras around there that I'm maybe not the person who's going to let that go at that moment, but I tell you, I got home, I cried. I did plenty of crying when I got home.
It's amazing.
We want to let you know, Season 2 of Hollywood Medium with Tyler Hand. It almost seems weird to be doing it as a promo right now because it was so much more important to me than a promo. It premieres Wednesday, August 10th on our sister network, E!
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.